Hiya. Today I'm going to try and show you how to restring your ukulele. Bridges come off, don't worry about that. And how to get a neat look at the end here. A lot of videos show you how to string a ukulele, you should all know how to do that. But they don't really show you how they do that manufacturer's lovely interlocking, so that's what I'm going to try to show you. So I've got my new pack of strings. These are my favourite Ukulele nail gut strings, and this is a little soprano. Make sure you get them for the right size, and the strings have a colour on the end, green, red, white and blue, I think. So I'm just going to try and look for the red end. That's the red one, that's the first string. That's the string that goes nearest the bottom, the first string, and that, according to that, first string is red. So there's a slot on this end. This is one of these tie bar things, so I'm going to, I'll find it, push that through. You've got plenty of slack down this end. You've got loads. So just make a loop. You see that? Make a loop. Maybe I should put a bit more light on. You push it behind the string, pull it out. It's a Bowman's knot, and you've got, the key thing with this is to make sure you've got plenty left. Push it through twice. Push it through twice, and then pull that tight. And that bit is long enough to go towards the top. That's the first bit. Second string is blue. Let's have a look. I'm a bit colourblind, but this is the string with the blue one. The blue little cap on the end. Little dabs on blue. It's what Ukulele do. And you repeat the same process. Find the little hole in your tie bar bridge. Stick it through. This time, make sure you catch the end of that. So this piece goes underneath that. See how I'm going to capture that now? Same procedure. Push it up. Put it through here a couple of times. Now this is a lot thicker, this string. 1, 2, don't have these too tight yet. Don't pull them too tight, because we're going to feed some strings through. Third string is my green string. My eyes deceive me. This is a green string. Follow the same procedure again. Push the green through there. This time you catch both, underneath both the blue and the red strings. So this way you just tying them all in together. Again, make sure you tie them all in underneath the string. So you've got plenty there. Underneath, wrap it round. 1, 2, that just catches all of those. Let's leave that one at the moment like that. Get our final white string. Put that through the top hole, and you catch all three of those strings. So you should have the green tip, the blue and the red. You catch them all. Put this underneath them all. Pull it right the way through. Now make sure you've got plenty on here. This time you put it round the opposite way. You loop it round the string at the top. Make sure you've got plenty there. 1, 2. Pull that in slightly, and you've captured all those 3 strings just loosely. Now the tricky bit. Feed this one back through the previous loop. There you go. And pull it tight. Pull them all tight. Tighten them all up now. And you should see something like that, which is a lot neater than just push them down into position, make sure everything's over the top, and then you tie these up to the top and tension them. And the thing is, this is like the professional way of doing it, with the bowman's knots. 3 going this way, and each one of these strings hooks under the previous one till this one hooks under them all, and this thread goes back over this way down towards the first string. It doesn't have to go right to the end, as long as it gets caught by 1 or 2. It just looks neat. Press them underneath, and then press them down, make sure they're still all there, and then just tie them up the top end, and job's a good one. I'll show you how I do the top bits. Just on the first one, I'll thread it through. This is number 4 string. Thread it through, put my thumb underneath, that gives it enough. Push it through again, and just pull it tight, tight enough. And then with this, start to go. You always turn all your pegs counterclockwise, anti-clockwise. Put it in the little slot. Put it in your little groove on the top here in the 4th, and then just keep it down so that it tightens downwards onto the peg. And you can get some fancified things to speed this process up, but there really is no need for that cost. Just take a little bit of time. Don't tighten this too much, just enough, because then we can repeat the process with the other ones. Check that's all underneath there, which it is. Yeah. And repeat the process with the others. You see, you've got more than enough. You've got more than enough. Again, put your thumb underneath. Pull it reasonably tight, make sure thumb's there. You've got a bit of slack over the top. Might be easier if I show you that way. You don't need to have these too tight, but you want some on the peg. And again, sorry, I'll lift this camera. I'm just feeding that through. Obviously with the thicker strings it's harder, but there you go. It's gone through. Pull it reasonably tight. That's that one. Start to wind it down again, finger on the top of the slot of the nut, just to make sure that winds downwards. Few turns, you don't want it tight. Next string. Pulling my 2nd string up, put it through the top hole, just pull it through. You've got plenty. Again, put your thumb about there, so that'll lift enough, that's enough. Push it back through the top slot, pull it reasonably tight over there, and again, now you can drop it into the slot. It's always counterclockwise, so if you can see that on here, I'm doing it anti-clockwise. Again, just to make sure that's fed down into that slot. Just goes downwards onto the little peg. You only need a few turns just to tighten it up a touch. That's your 3rd string. We're getting there. last strings as quick as that. Pull it up, stick it through the slot, the little hole, pull it round, put your thumb on there, tension it so you've got about that much slack on there, put it back through the little hole, pull it round, that secures it, and now again put it into the slot, into your first groove on your nut, and start to turn until it's just nice. So that gives you this professional looking I know I've done this quite quick, I normally would take a bit more time, but this is not going to catch you. If there's anything sticking out there, you can just nip that off, because you don't want to be strumming with that, and it looks really neat. This is how they come from the factories, and it looks a lot better than just tying it and then just snipping it off and getting all bits of raggy bits here. The other thing as well, if a string snaps, for the cost of these strings, which are about £6 or £7, I like Ukulele. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that, but they are really good strings. I like the tone, but it's each their own. There's 101 different manufacturers out there. You'll try them all in time, see what you think. I've just realised I haven't put my bridge in. Good job I haven't tightened them up a little too much. I can just slot that bridge in. How silly of me. That's it. Put my bridge in. Slide that back in. I might have to ease the strings back off. Just shows you we all make mistakes, eh? No one's infallible. There you go. Because I haven't tightened the strings up, job is a good one. Lovely jubbly. There you go. Compensated bridge. There's a little compensate. This is a Bruce Wyatt V-Art that I got from the eBay a few years ago. I love it. Solid acacia core, and I got it for a snip. And now he's charging all sorts of silly money. When you've tightened all these up, and do them evenly, just do them a couple of turns at a time, get them even, get your tuner on here and test them out. Just do it evenly across the strings so you don't put overly a lot of tension, uneven tension on here, you know, on your fretboard. Now some people just wind these things up, but I think that looks absolutely atrocious. I do. So once you've finished with them, just snip them close, 1/8 of an inch or so, just off the tuning peg. Make sure your snips, be careful you don't snip anything else, and you'll have a nice neat job. Hope that helps. If there's anything you want me to cover again, give me a shout, but I hope that's helped you. Let's hear your comments. Thanks a lot now, bye.